Hey folks, welcome to the program. This week we're featuring one of our pro staffers from the west end of Manitoulin Island, Stacy Rayner. He's an avid outdoorsman, he loves to fish and hunt big bucks, and he's also a hardcore waterfowler. He's got a new young family, but he still makes sure to get outdoors. Stay tuned, you're watching Fuel to Fire TV. Life offers no guarantees, but the one thing we've learned for sure is that the time we have is indeed precious. The more time we spend with family, friends, and with nature can make the difference between living a good life and living a great one. Join us on our quest to be participants rather than observers, to learn from our mistakes, to share our successes and our failures, as we spend all of the time we have chasing our dreams, fueling our passion, and fueling the fire in the great outdoors.
Take him. Go.
Man, whenever the West Enders call me and say the fields are loaded up with geese, I drop everything. Cody and Stacy, they do their scouting homework, they ask for permissions, they have a great decoy setup, and when they hit the field and we get the call, I make sure that I am on time. They love taking their friends out, they love teaching the kids about how to call, about what to wait for, and then jump out of the blinds and say take them.
Kill him! That one's hit, that one.
So much fun, early season geese, but these guys are at it all year long. Stacy puts in the time, whether it's for archery, rifle, or muzzleloader. A couple years back, he waited and passed on a number of bucks. They were actually, I couldn't believe that he actually passed on this great big 8 and this great big 9. He just wasn't comfortable on the archery shot, although it was 20 yards, it was face on. He waited all season, right to the last light in muzzleloader, and he still waited to take that shot.
The rut's over here, so the buck should be up feeding, trying to get that fat put back on that they burnt off chasing does during the rut. So I'm gonna sit here and wait, and hopefully something comes out. Got a deer coming in here now. Well, it's not really the quality deer we're after, but it's a good sign. So hopefully you keep a couple does coming in later this afternoon and something bigger will follow them in.
Well, here we are with my 2019 muzzleloader buck. It's not the big buck I was after all fall, but It is a nice deer. I'd seen this deer on camera a few times, and I was contemplating if I'd take him or not if I had the chance, but he gave me the opportunity tonight, and I'm down to the wire, so I took the chance while I had it. Couldn't be happier. It's meat in the freezer for another year. Get them all cleaned up and ready to be processed. Just like Rhett Daniels says, it's all over but the grilling. To fuel your passion, fuel your fire, you got to get outdoors.
Welcome back to the program. As every deer hunter knows, it pays off to be selective. Now, we have to spend time setting up our trail cameras, taking stock of what the deer herd looks like and what the winter did in the off season. Did those bucks make it through? Did they have enough weight to keep them sustained throughout a hard winter? Or was it a decent winter and a lot of them made it through? It's always a great idea to get your 100 acres or your 200 acres, take stock of what you have available for the upcoming season. And that brings us to this week's 100 Acre Hunter. Okay, so in this spot, this is where we're gonna put down our antler obsession. So I'm just gonna clear a little bit of this away. We need about a 3x3 or 4x4 piece patch of ground. It's wet in here, or damp, because of all of the cedars. And we're gonna put the antler obsession down here. Because remember, in a management strategy, the first part of that is to take stock of your deer herd. So we want to take stock of that deer herd as our part one and get some cam pictures of what we have here. So antler obsession, because it's the first establishment of this mineral station, we're gonna put a little bit extra. We're gonna go with probably 10 pounds. Each one of these is about 3 pounds. So that gives us about 9. Again, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, and calcium. Healthy does means healthy bucks as well, because in gestation, those fawns are going to have a better chance at survival when they've got the minerals that they need. Okay, so that gets our mineral station number 1 for this property set. We're going to put a trail camera up. We're going to do one more mineral station and another trail camera setup so that we can track the number of deer in this herd, so we can effectively develop a management strategy for this 100 acres. That's this week's 100 Acre Hunter. Now let's get back to the program. Always a great idea to be selective. Now, Stacy does exactly that in one of his seasons. He waits for his first archery buck and passes on all kinds of deer because he did his homework. He knows what the property produced. He knows what's there by putting out his trail cameras, and he is patient.
Well, I just made a shot on my target buck. It didn't look like it was a very good shot placement. I watched him run through the field. He hit 2 fences trying to get out of the field. He ran right through my backyard because I can see my house from here, and I heard him hit another fence. I'm hoping he didn't go too far, but I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. I'm having a hard time finding blood, but we're getting a little bit here and there now. So there he is. Right on. First bow kill. First big deer for me. Pretty proud of this one. Not much penetration, but those broadheads sure do the job. Here we are with my 2018 archery buck. This is actually the first deer I've ever taken with the bow. And a few years ago I told myself I didn't want to shoot a buck unless I figured it was going to be shoulder mount worthy. And to me, this guy fits the bill. I'm quite proud of him. A big thanks to all the guys that helped me. Cody, he's behind the camera. Tom Harper, thanks for helping a million, that's for sure. I had a few encounters with this buck this year, but finally connected on him, and I couldn't be more proud. Remember folks, to feel your passion, fuel your fire, you gotta get outdoors.
What a great first archery deer. Congratulations. Now, it takes a lot of patience, but it also takes, some stick-to-itness, if you will, when you are looking to figure out not only what deer to harvest, but remember, we're trying to do this most of the time videoing ourselves. So you've got that archery equipment, you've got the camera arm, you've got to try and make sure that those deer get into frame, and it takes a lot of practice and a lot of work. Stacy's doing a great job. He's getting better and better and better.
Well, today's August 18th. As you can see, I got the plot all plowed. I took the discs to it. I spent about 4 hours going over it. It's going to be as good as it's going to get for this year. I mean, I still got some clumps of soil and stuff, just root systems, but I don't think it's going to be much of an issue for planting. So I'm just getting ready to spread some seed. It's about 8:30 at night. I just put the girls down to bed for the night, and I'm pretty fortunate. The plot's right behind the house, only a couple hundred yards, so I'm going to use my broadcast spreader just by hand. I'm putting down the Cabela's Brassicas mix this year. I've read some good reviews online, so I figured I'd give it a try. It's going to be more of a late season plot, like I said before, but I'm hoping come muzzleloader season it should be pretty good. But we do have a good deer population around here, and even bow season I'm sure I'll have some deer mixed in around it and checking it out. So, well, here we are. Today's September 25th. And we're only a week out from the Ontario bow season. As you can see, I'm standing in my food plot here. It's come up. It's not where I was hoping it would be by this time, but the deer are in it. Every night I can see from the house, there's sometimes 10, 12 deer in here. I got a couple bucks that are coming to it pretty well every night as well, before dark, which is nice to see. Today the plan is I'm gonna get my pop-up line set up and brushed in. I'm not sure, I may hang a portable stand up in behind me here on this hardwood ridge overlooking the plot, but it's a tough spot to hunt just because of the prevailing winds in this area. Ideally, I should have a blind down in the corner here, but again, it's going to be out in the open and it'll never last unless I put up a permanent blind, which I'll look into for next year. But this year I'm just going to get the portable set up, and hopefully next weekend we'll be sitting in it and maybe have one of those bucks on the ground.
it. It's 8 o'clock and I just put an arrow in my target buck for this year. He's a pretty decent 9-point. He's the biggest buck I have on camera this year, so I'm happy with him. The shot, it looked good. So, I don't know. I guess I'll give it 15 minutes or so and then may head home, collect myself a bit. Just vibrating. This is awesome. I'm pumped. Yeah, give it a little bit anyways, and then I'll definitely be out to look for him. Hoping it's going to be an easy job. Like I said, the shot looked good. You could see the arrow in him. It didn't pass through, but I'm pretty confident that it was good. It didn't look high, didn't look back. I haven't actually reviewed the footage yet, but whew, awesome. Stay tuned. You're watching Fuel the Fire TV. Man, what a morning. I got in the stand here half hour before daylight, and right away I had a deer come under me 20 yards feeding away in the food plot. Waited for light. Turns out it was a little 6-point, nothing I was interested in. He carried on, and you know, I was kind of thinking, I thought I'd see more deer out right at first light today, but it is what it is. And then all of a sudden there's a deer coming across the food plot that you've seen. A little spike horn. He stopped 20 yards, fed, and then the buck I was after, he showed up, and I watched him come across from about maybe 180 yards or so right to the food plot to 25 yards. As you can see, the shot looked good. I know my arrow didn't pass through by any means. I don't know if I caught rib, but it looks good. I reviewed the footage, and I mean, it's right in the boiler room, so I'm gonna give this deer some time. I'm going to climb down out of my tree stand, head back to the house, I think, get warmed up, maybe have a coffee, and we'll be back to see if we can find him. I'm hoping he didn't go too far. I mean, like I said, the arrow was right where it had to be, so perfect 25-yard shot, nice and easy, and this is only my second hunt of the year. Yesterday was my first, and today I'm tagged out the day before Halloween. I couldn't be more excited. That's the biggest buck I've had on camera this year. He's no monster by any means, but with 2 little girls at home, I'm gonna make the most of every hunt I have, and I decided he's worth it. So, well, here we are. It's about an hour and a half now. I've let this buck sit. It looks like there could be some rain in the forecast here, so I figured I better get on this just in case we do get a downpour. You never know. Right behind me here in the field is where he is standing. There's good blood where I hit him, and I'll show you here in a second. I'm just on the other side of the fence where he crossed. I can see quite a bit of blood here even. So hopefully he didn't go too far, and let's go find this deer. Well, there he is, folks. I don't know if you can see it and get zoomed in. There he is there, laying right there. He's gone about 100 yards from where I shot him and tracked him, lots of blood. I did run out, but I was able to locate some more, and I mean, it's pretty open where he is right now, but he definitely took me through some thick stuff to get where he is. Make sure he's done. Oh yeah. Awesome. There he is. Well, here he is, my 2021 archery buck.
I've had quite a few pictures of this 9-point over the last course of, let's say, August on. I put the food plot in. He had been the biggest one coming. I mean, he's no monster, but I'm happy to take him nonetheless. When he's the biggest deer you got on the property, that's what you're gonna hunt, right? I mean, I had a pretty good year. This was only my second sit, and he was the third deer that came in this morning. The other two were just a spike horn and a little 6-point that was in before dark. And he came in, like I said before, I watched him come across the field probably 150 yards and stopped at 26, and I had to take some time for him to clear some trees to get my shot. And anyways, I took the opportunity when it came, and I couldn't be happier with him. It's nice to be able to get out. I got 2 little girls at home, a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old, so I don't have a lot of time to hunt this year, and I made the best of it, that's for sure. To fuel your passion, fuel the fire, you got to get outdoors.
Man, that was some great footage. Congratulations on an awesome deer, but allowing us to see what you saw, that makes it even better for us, for the audience, and for the legacy you leave with your family. Stay tuned next week as we introduce a couple more pro staff, Al Strader and Jesse Bowden. You're watching Fuel the Fire TV.